Oh no, it's VideoCrap!
Dad!
Alright, so for this week's review, I decided to go in a slightly different approach. I reviewed this movie in 3 separate pieces, so it's almost like I'm reviewing it as I was watching it in real time. But why, you ask? What is so different about this movie that required a different approach? Well, I'm glad you asked, and this is why.
Earth year 2006.
Yeah, in 5 minutes, there's already typos or errors of continuity. On top of that, I knew I was in trouble with the words parallel time. So let me break down what's going on. This week, we're taking a look at 1995's TimeMaster. It's currently only available on VHS or laserdisc. The movie starts out with a super long scene of exposition, and I actually transcribed the whole thing for you to understand what I'm dealing with here. So stay with me.
Earth year 2006. On a planet in a faraway galaxy. I am the chairman who rules the arena. Here we play a deadly game, traveling through temporal rifts, playing with alternative futures and parallel time, changing the past and the future. We take life forms from other planets to use as pawns in our game, and then suck the life out of them. Our people bet on the outcome with blue, the precious liquid that gives them eternal life. Our captive players fight for survival, and yet they have no free will, for we control all. We have sent our collector, Isaiah, once again to Earth to gather humans. We have been playing Earth for a long time. Wars, assassinations, disasters, all have been in our control. And now, the grand finale, thermonuclear destruction. But Isaiah has deceived me. He's challenged the outcome of the game. He's chosen a boy, Jesse, to try to stop us from finishing off his pathetic little planet. We will take Jesse's parents as contestants and then suck the life out of them for our own people. Jesse and his sister are about to be orphans. We will send them back to the past. Isaiah may teach the boy the secrets of time and dimension, but he will not succeed in reaching the arena. Let the game continue.
So that's what we're dealing with today. I'm not gonna attempt to explain what all of that meant, so just take it for what it's worth. The movie starts out with the kid mentioned in the narration named Jesse and his little sister, and they reminisce about the old days of ice cream and cheeseburgers. They live in what looks like a Mad Max style post-apocalyptic world. Then a spaceship flies over their head and they run home to tell their mom about it, but before long, panic ensues as all the people are attacked by these people from another planet. Then Jesse's dad stupidly gets involved and the family gets kidnapped.
Who are you?
Dad!
So that was 2007 or 2006, I don't know. And now it's a year or two earlier in 2008 inside the arena that we heard about earlier. Jesse's mom, named Evelyn, is strapped to this outdated looking virtual reality contraption. She's playing a game of sorts where she somehow controls her husband Jonathan as what the people call a pawn. Yeah, I don't know. I'm literally reviewing this movie as I watch it. I have no idea if she's controlling the real Jonathan or a fake video game one. One thing's for sure though, the people on this planet sure love button mashing. The game they play takes place in an old West world, and in this game, Jonathan is a sheriff or something, and her son Jesse is in it as well.
Run, Jesse!
This round will end in 10 seconds.
First, I'm gonna kill your pa. Then I'm gonna kill you.
Jonathan ends up barely surviving and Evelyn loses and the crowd celebrates. Somehow in 17 minutes, we went from a post-apocalyptic city to a futuristic virtual gaming world where they play as Old West cowboys. Oh gee, I wonder what could happen next.
Well, Howard, what about that fantastic comeback by Mortar? And what about that kid?
What about that kid? You can say that again.
What about that kid?
Really? They got world-famous wrestling announcers Bobby the Brain Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund for this? What is going on? And I forgot to tell you that Pat Morita, aka Mr. Miyagi's in this movie. He plays as Isaiah, who is mentioned in the original narration, who rebels against the chairman. Okay, so where do we go from here?
Jesse, the Leacocks have decided to take you. They'll be by tomorrow morning.
Hold on, what? We just saw Jesse in 2007 in a post-apocalyptic world, then we saw him a year later, but in a video game form, I think? Now it's 11 years earlier and he's the same age? Is this a typo or is this movie really trying to mess with my mind? I guess there's no way to find out than to continue watching. So at this orphanage, Jesse decides to run away to find his real family because the family who wants to adopt him doesn't want to adopt his sister as well. For some reason, it's believed by him and his sister that his parents are actually dead, but he thinks that they're alive due to the dreams he has of them. But before he sneaks out, Isaiah stops him and brings him inside to his room. What's confusing is, Jesse is talking about seeing his parents in his dream, and he's referring to the Western thing we just saw. So was that Western scene a video game, or was it real life from years ago? Apparently it's real because Isaiah shows him a photo of his dad in the Old West. Oh my gosh, this movie, man. Then Isaiah says,
Jesse boy, your parents are not dead, but they are in very grave danger, and hopefully I can teach you how to help them.
So again, I have to clear my head and try to separate all these different areas of time versus the virtual reality type game. Was his mom Evelyn controlling her real family in a different time via some sort of time travel device? Or was she literally controlling all their bodily functions and organs to move them and shoot each other? Then it gets really trippy. So if his parents have been in danger this whole time, why would Mr. Miyagi wait until he was running away to tell him? Now Jesse is flying through some kind of time-space portal with different orb bubbles representing different periods of time. For some reason he can't enter any of them, but instead bounces off of them. Then he runs into the Jurassic period. Oh, but that orb he can enter into. Jesse falls into this barn, which I presume to be the Old West we saw before. And this is where I stopped watching the movie. 30 minutes in, and I realized I need to cut this up into like 3 separate parts. And don't forget to stay tuned for part 2, featuring none other than 4-time Oscar-nominated Michelle Williams.